Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. In fact, somebody just wrote it in and said, hi, I'm a BCBA and use the book Evidence-Based Treatment, the CARD model. They say, I find this so beneficial. I especially love the appendixes in the appendices, excuse me, in the back with the breakdown of goals. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge by writing this book. I would love to purchase skills as well for my clients, but the cost is quite prohibitive being that I have 10 clients. But when you're buying at a different amount and they're wanting to know if there's any promotions, just call over, tell them that what you want to do, what you're doing. They do it at they do it for schools, they do it for ABA providers. It functions differently than if you're buying it for your child, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's, you need to be able to go back and forth
That's
between
right.
children.
You would not be paying $75 for each of your children. They would give you some sort of deal.
Yeah. So just call over to them. Tell them that you heard it from Dr. Grand-Pichet and Shannon on autism-live.
And I'm really thrilled when I hear that BCBAs like skills and are using skills. I love that. I got to tell you, as a fellow BCBA, you'll love the reporting aspects of it. It's my favorite thing about skills is how it generates data for you and how it can just produce the graphs that you need for your patients.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a huge mall and there's lots of different stores in the mall.
Yeah.
But, from one of my favorite stores in the mall is the BIP Builder. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Because there's so much room for error, and especially as a parent, the first time I ever looked at a BIP, I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Right? And they would hand me a BIP. There was one time where we took, I'm not kidding you, 4 meetings with no less than 12 people in the room to write a BIP. Right? And it took months. And meanwhile, my son was engaging in the behavior and nobody knew what to do. And so everybody was doing something different.
Right.
But then the BIP Builder came online, and I've told this story before, so forgive me if you've heard it. But they handed me a BIP for my child and said, well, this is the BIP from last year. And I don't know how to read it. And I consider myself a fairly intelligent person and deeply curious, right? But I sat down with the BIP and I opened the BIP Builder and I started comparing. And I was like, oh, it says here the function of the behavior is attention. So I drop down menu over here and I plug that in. I'm just going to compare. And then it says here what the antecedent is, and I go to put that in, and the little system went, warning, this has not been found to be effective. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? And then, of course, then I start to see the whole thing. The antecedent that they had put in did not match, and then when I got to the consequence was somebody was going to talk to him about it.
Yeah. Which
is feeding the behavior.
Yeah.
So I went back into the IEP and I said, hi, your BIP right here where you have this is not a scientifically based, evidence-based thing. I would rather that you do this. And they went, we don't need to look at that paper. We'll and then suddenly I had a different person at the meeting. It was like that just suddenly disappeared from, we don't need to, right? And then he had a BIP that, hey, guess what? It worked. And then the behavior went away.
Yeah.
And we were and you know what the behavior was for? Every time there was a writing task, he was in avoidance.
Oh gosh.
Right? And so he would do everything. And now I have a son who is getting ready to apply to colleges for what? Screenwriting.
Wow, it's amazing.
Because the behavior got dealt with appropriately.
Honestly,
and that's why you need a good BIP.
That's amazing.
Right? And how about the opposite side of that when we hear about people, the teacher who didn't have a well-written BIP and didn't understand it.
Right.
And so she zipped her child into a bag, a duffel bag that was meant for tennis balls. Right? And that's how the mom, and then they called mom and said, you have to come get him. He's engaging in behavior.
Oh my
She
God.
got to the principal's office and said, where's my child? And they unzipped the bag. He was in the bag. lawsuit, let me just tell you. But that's what happens when you don't have a decent BIP. So we don't want that. It's one of the rooms in Skills. You may never go into that room, but I love that. That's my store.
It's a really good place, and I have to credit Dr. Jonathan Tarbox for working a lot on that and really perfecting kind of the CFA, which is the indirect functional assessment, which is the basis for a BIP builder, is identifying what the function of the behavior is. And he did an amazing job with that, truly
Isn't that
did.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So many talented minds worked on Skills.
Absolutely right.
And on IBT. It's just sort of amazing. Okay, we didn't take a break. How crazy am I? I just keep making you talk. We're going to take a break. Keep writing in your stuff. We're loving hearing from you guys live. We'll be back after these messages. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.